The Fox CEO stood confidently on the grand stage of Sheep Hardworking Corporation, dressed in a sleek suit and polished shoes. His voice was smooth, persuasive, filled with the promise of a brighter future. "Success belongs to those who never stop working," he declared, gazing down at the rows of sheep eagerly nodding in agreement. "Hard work will lead you to wealth, prosperity, and happiness. Look at me. I started from nothing, and now I run this great company. Follow my example, and one day you'll be just as successful." The sheep listened with admiration, their woolly heads bobbing as they absorbed every word. They believed in the dream, in the promise that if they just worked harder, their lives would change. So, day after day, they arrived early and stayed late, pushing themselves beyond exhaustion, hoping that their efforts would be noticed. The office buzzed with endless typing, ringing phones, and hurried footsteps. The sheep never complained, never questioned. The workload increased, but so did their dedication. Whenever doubt crept in, they reminded themselves of the fox's words. Success was within reach. It was just a matter of effort. Meanwhile, the fox sat comfortably in his glass-walled office, sipping imported coffee, watching his employees hustle below. A sly smile played on his lips. The system worked perfectly. The more they believed in the dream, the harder they worked, and the richer he became. One day, a young sheep, exhausted from endless work, dared to question the system. He glanced at his paycheck, then at the towering office of the Fox CEO, gleaming with luxury. Something didn't add up. Why do we work harder every day, yet our wages never increase? He wondered. He whispered his doubts to his colleagues, but most simply shrugged. Hard work leads to success, they repeated, just as the fox had taught them. Curious, the young sheep sneaked a look in the company's financial records. His eyes widened. Profits had skyrocketed, but employee wages remained unchanged. Meanwhile, the fox had bought a new mansion, a private jet, and another luxury car. The truth was clear. Their labor filled the fox's pockets, while they were left struggling. Shocked, he tried to warn the others. "Look at the numbers. We are making him rich while we stay the same." But the moment his voice rose above a whisper, the fox appeared. Standing tall on the stage, the fox's voice was calm yet firm. "Complaining is the habit of the weak. Only those who work without doubt will succeed." The sheep hesitated. Doubt flickered in their eyes, but fear was stronger. No one wanted to be seen as weak. Slowly, they lowered their heads and returned to work. The young sheep, disheartened, realized the truth. The fox had built more than just a company. He had created a belief system. And as long as the sheep believed, the cycle would never break. A few brave sheep couldn't ignore the truth. They quietly slipped away, leaving behind their desks, their endless hours of labor, and the dream they had once believed in. Some searched for better opportunities, while others vowed never to be fooled again. But most of the flock remained. Fear of the unknown was stronger than the promise of something different. They convinced themselves that the fox was right. Maybe they just hadn't worked hard enough. Maybe if they stayed, If they pushed themselves even further, their time would come. The fox CEO watched from his towering office, completely unfazed. For every sheep that left, a dozen more arrived, eager and hopeful, ready to chase the same illusion. The cycle continued. The fox hosted new speeches, repeated old promises, and the fresh recruits listened, just as eager as those before them. The office remained filled with the sound of typing, ringing phones, and tired sighs. As the seasons changed, the fox grew richer, his empire expanded, and yet nothing changed for the sheep. They worked, they obeyed, and they waited for the success that would never come. Far beyond the company walls, in the human world, screens flickered with similar messages, motivational speeches, endless talks of perseverance, and the same old promise: work harder and you will succeed. And just like the sheep, people listened, believed, and continued the cycle.